Happy birthday, Barb.
I wish I was as young as you, Barb. I'm envious.
Oh, we have so many memories with the Hertzler family. Joe and I spent the better part of a night the other night just hashing over,
After a few drinks, Barb.
of course, the wonderful times we had on Wimbledon. Imagine how lucky we were to be moving to a new town, a new state with two little boys, and being blessed enough to buy the house next to the Hertzlers. Oh, makes me cry. As I said, we have so many memories. Barb, you were always there for me. You were there thick and thin when the boys had to go to the hospital. When Holly was born, you took the boys for the night.
And during tornado attacks, put Holly in the bathtub, as I understand it, when she was only 3 years old and abandoned her.
Oh, and the boys had their times too. Tim and Joe.
Oh yeah, Tim. Oh yeah, we had a great time. Tim, you and I made a lot of friends in the neighborhood, and I'll never forget painting the back wall in particular one day, because there was a wonderful sight on the other side of the wall that we couldn't get enough of.
A new neighbor, sunbathing no less. Barb, I'll never forget running down the hill in France, singing "The Hills Are Alive," and we just had so much fun. Remember the same trip, we cracked up on the fast train to, I don't know, where were we going?
Wine country with Ton and Nettie Van Holten, only to get to the train station and found that their car had been stolen after we got back. But that train ride was classic because of the dog that was accompanied by the dog's owner, a female, and she thought more of that dog than she thought of us. That was very clear.
And we were laughing at the dog, and then do you remember the woman's face between the seats going like this, trying to figure out what we were laughing at? I don't think I've ever laughed that hard.
And I'll never forget that meal we had at the chateau, where, I mean, it was a fabulous meal, and I'll never forget, as we exited the chateau, the maitre d' said bonsoir, and Barb, you turned around and said bonjour. Anyhow.
And then we said bonjour to the Eiffel Tower that night.
And you remember the wild boar dinner we had at the Mouse house in Paris, overlooking the Eiffel Tower? I mean, it was just phenomenal. Great memories, to say the least.
I'll never forget the talks we used to have over that horrible chain link fence that we had in our backyard. But we would stand there for hours just chatting away.
Smoking, no less.
No, that was on the front porch. But we would talk and talk. But the one special day that we had, we were bitching a blue streak because the Pope had just died, and they were waiting to send up the white cloud, and they were overtaking all my children on television. Barb and I were having a fit.
That's your priorities. But Barb, you even gave us an alert when the boys were throwing dirt at one another in our garden room. You had a clear view into our garden room and called to alert us to the mess that they were making, which we appreciate.
We'll always love the memory of shoveling snow in the driveway. The three couples, the O'Connells as well, would shovel our driveway, and then we moved to the next driveway, and
with
then
a couple beers in between driveways.
Well, the beers were resting in the snow-covered bushes along with the bottles of wine, and that was fun.
I'll never forget Tim saying one man's trash is another man's treasure, because he had junk sales on a frequent basis.
We don't want to bore you with all the many times that we had with the Hertzlers, but we just wanted to say a very happy birthday, and we love you, And we miss you terribly.
We got to figure out a way to make another rendezvous, and just as long as Captain Tim doesn't get us stuck on another sandbar.
It's true. Bye, Hertzlers.
See you guys.
Love and
Take
miss
care.
you.
Have